Boom. Hey, internets. I got a good email with a startup brand that's having problems with production. You guys can email me too at hi@jonphenom.com. He's saying, "Hi, John. I'm having problems with prints and caps getting messed up. Cap embroidery is not straight. Prints curved on shirts. How should I address this? I keep hearing excuses from these shops I hire to print and embroider for me, but the one who's losing money because I can't even sell these defective products. Help." Great. So if you guys haven't been on the channel before, I owned high volume screen printing. We did offer embroidery services as well. I owned that shop for 3 years, and obviously on the brand side, I've been working for brands for, as this is post dating, over 18 years. Looks are deceiving, right? Okay, 40 years old, over 18 years real fashion experience and industry. So in any case, okay, so I see this from both points. Let me give you the short answer up first, and then you guys could just stop watching, but just make sure you like it and share this with whoever you think it's helpful with. But the short answer is that's going to happen, so you got to take it as an L and keep moving forward. There's a lot of bad shops out there, okay? Production work is just like a mechanic shop. That's the analogy I always use. So there's bad mechanic shops and there's good ones. It's blue collar work. Screen printing is still doing the design, doing the graphic design, and then burning the screen, putting the screen to the palette, putting the shirt to the palette, and pulling the ink over it. If you're doing plastisol prints and water-based prints, okay, which is still the majority at this point. I will say that DTG is really making leaps and bounds, so I'm on the edge of that technology and trying to see what's going on with it. So of course I'll keep you guys updated as that starts to get closer, but right now it's not close. Right now you're still going to a screen printer who's making those prints. So for all the aforementioned processes that you have to go through, it's blue collar work, you know what I mean? So you know, the same thing goes for it. Printing 100 shirts is the same process-wise as printing 1,000 shirts. So 1,000 shirts might be more. It might be more of a profitable gig if you are the print shop. Okay. Now I'm using screen printing shop as the analogy here, but for embroidery, it's somewhat similar. You get the blanks, which is typically a cap. I'm gonna guess most people here are using like a snapback cap because that's the most efficient and most popular style. Maybe some dad hats. We're phasing out of it a little bit, but it's still marginal compared to snapback hats. So you're finding a good blank, and then you're getting it to the embroiderer, and then they have the machines with several embroidery stations at once, and it's going tick 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 tick. So digitizing fee, and then getting the thread to the cap is what we're talking about in terms of production. Now, within all those steps, there's a lot of room for error. Okay, like when I owned the shop, we botched a ton of jobs. So with each batch or each gig that you do for per run, so say you do one gig which has 3 shirts in it, you know, and you're giving it one screen printer. I think the industry rule of thumb is 5% spoilage. Okay, so there should be up to 5% that can get messed up, misprinted, burned. I mean, there's a couple different terms for it, but you should be forgivable up to 5%. We used to have that in our terms. A lot of screen printers will have that in the terms and will mention it. Again, some of these guys aren't organized in their business, so they won't tell you these things, and then if you go into the problem, then they just kind of tell you, or they call you, or they text you. We like to lay when I owned the shop, we put everything up front just so you know a couple different scenarios that could happen. We also took all of our money up front, but we were very good about bending over backwards for our clients in case there was a mistake that was on our end. So for this scenario and for the community, what I want to say is there's going to be spoilage and there's going to be errors. Now, if it's an egregious error, if it's a really bad, like the wrong color, completely wrong placement, and you gave them you know, pretty clear instructions, This is why I have tech packs that are very specific in terms of color and placement. But if you gave them pretty clear instructions and it's egregiously bad, you should be able to get what we call a chargeback. So a chargeback is literally getting money back. Maybe some of the product is usable. Like maybe you wanted the back hit in an obscure place and they put it square in the back. That's still kind of sellable. So then you could kind of figure what kind of discount you get for the stuff that they already printed, and then maybe you get a whole new run done. There's a couple different ways to do it. So chargebacks would be something that you should be able to do. Spoilage is something you should know that might happen. And then overall, if it's just a bad deal, just move on to another printer or embroidery. It's all you can do besides doing it yourself. And I've done a couple videos about that. I say yes and no. I mean, it depends on your setup and where you can do it. But other than that, there should be a vendor that you can use. The vendor that I put everybody up on is in San Diego, and I live in LA, but they print for people all around, definitely the US and also around the world. So shipping is one thing. If you find someone you can trust and you can fold your shipping fees into it to make it worth it, that's one thing. But you should be able to find someone locally, and if you do get burned, just keep going and keep a record. And some of the best shops make mistakes. We used to make mistakes all the time when I co-owned the shop. So keep all of that in mind. Try to get a good word of mouth. Like, try to get someone who's used them before. But again, even good shops will make mistakes. But if they're egregiously bad shops, you got to take it as a loss and keep moving forward. And I know that's a tough answer, but it's a nature. One of the beasts we have to deal with in this industry. Any other questions, please drop them all down below. Follow me on social media when you have the chance. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.